Buenas noches, people. Yes, that says tardes, but I'm tarde in getting this uploaded to you. 1,000 pardons, please. But welcome to the 11th class of the first Spanish Every Other Day course, the alphabet. And this lesson is about the letter Doble L. But first, let me check with you. How are your 5-minute practice sessions going? Are you obeying the timer? Please obey the timer. All right. And are you up to 6 to 8 sessions between lessons? Please keep trying for that so that you're always thinking about the next session as you go through your day. All right. So 6 through 8 between lessons. You can do it. Keep at it. So today, Doble L. Now, as I mentioned in my first video, what I teach is what I've heard. So this is based on my experience. Your experience might be different, but what I try to share is from what I have heard. All right, based on what I have heard, we have 3 basic ways of pronouncing this letter. We have E-lle, we have E-lle, and E-lle. So that's E-lle, E-lle, and E-lle. 3 ways. The first way is the simplest way of saying it. It's the ye sound from the letter Y, or as I seem to be hearing more and more, people are now saying that this letter is the letter ye. So you have the word gallina, cuchillo, pollo, rodilla. Once again, gallina, cuchillo, pollo, rodilla. And that's the simplest way to say this, this letter, doble L. If you say it that way, you can go anywhere in the world and people will understand what you have said. But now we have 2 regional ways coming up. And I'm not saying that you have to say it this way. I will say that you will hear it this way. So if you will hear it this way, you need to be aware at least that it exists, that this way exists of saying this letter. So you have this weird sound. To us English speakers, it's weird. To some Spanish speakers, it's weird because if they're used to the ye sound or the el-ye sound, then they're not used to the zh sound, which has nothing to do with English. So remember, Spanish is never English. Sometimes it's similar, but it's never English. So you have this zh sound. It's not sh as in sh. It's not ch as in ch. It's zzz. I can't even think of how to explain what your mouth is doing. But this one is from the Andes. And instead of saying a word like gallina, you would end up saying gallina. It's not cuchillo, it's cuchillo. It's not pollo, but pollo. And it's not rodilla, it's rodilla. So somewhere between a CH and a SH, I can't say it's like a motor. What do you say? Please, if you have any suggestions on how I can best explain that sound, what does it sound like to you? If you can tell me what it sounds like, then I can incorporate that into a better video. So tell me what sounds like to you. And then that will help me to better explain it in future classes. So it's a You can feel it in your tongue. It's almost as I'm feeling my tongue almost seize up, and yet the air keeps flowing. I don't know if that helps, but I feel my tongue. Let's say this is my tongue. It's almost as if it goes into a seizure and stops, but the air keeps going. And you notice how my mouth is round, but you can see my teeth, and the air is flowing from the back of my throat, kind of hard, and I feel a little bit of tense here. I don't know if that's helping, but if you can tell me what it sounds like to you, maybe that will help me to be able to better explain it. But this is what you will hear from people from the Andes. Not all people from the Andes. I have tended to hear it more from country people rather than city people, but I've heard city people say it too. So, gallina, cuchillo, pollo, rodilla. Now, some tell me that they hear Argentines say it also, and it's a very, very heavy zh sound. So be aware of that sound. Let's try the third one. This one, I have also heard South Americans say this. E-lle. So you have not gallina, not gallina, but you have gallina. Not cuchillo or cuchillo, cuchillo. Not pollo or pollo, polio. It almost sounds like the disease polio. Actually, it does sound like the disease polio. So the context would tell you if it's pollo or polio. And then you have not rodilla or rodilla, but rodilla. All right? So those are the three ways. Now the challenge is which one is the right way? The answer depends on which side of the fence you're on. Where are you? Who are you speaking to? In other words, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. You listen to the people that you're talking to in Spanish. Which one is the one they use? That's the one that you can use. Why? Because the goal is to be understood by your hearer. So imitate the people that hear you, and you'll be understood. As I said, if you use the ye sound, gallina, everyone will understand you. But if you want a little bit more respect from the people you speak to, you want a little bit more of an in to their culture, and I'll say it, even into their hearts, try to say it the way they say it, because they will appreciate your sincere interest in the way they speak Spanish, not just the grammar, but the way they speak Spanish, because the way they speak Spanish is special to them. So if you're trying to do it as they do, that shows you're truly interested in it. Let me amend that. That shows that the way they speak Spanish is significant to you, and that you're willing to adapt to the way they speak it. I have seen that the more I adapt, the more intimacy is allowed between us. And in my work, that's very important to me. Now, as I said, if you just want to do the ye sound, that's fine. But if you make the effort to speak as they do, you'll be rewarded in ways you don't expect. Let's keep going. The challenge with the E-lle sound, even though it's the easiest to say, is that since it sounds exactly like the letter Y, Y, you might get a little confused as to spelling. For instance, the word llamar, llamar, if I hear llamar, I know it's doble L. If I hear llamar, I know it's doble L. If I hear llamar and I don't really know how to spell that word, I might be tempted to spell it with a Y or Y instead of a doble L. But if everybody else around you is using Y, then that's fine. If you make a mistake in spelling, you make a mistake in spelling. No big deal at this stage of the game. If you're learning Spanish, at this stage of the game, you're allowed to make those kinds of mistakes. If you are around people who say doble L some in the other two ways, then learn the way they say it. Because once again, the objective is being understood by the other person. Make yourself understood and say it the way that people around you say it. So let's try these words all three ways. We've got ballena, millas, camello, sellar, detalle, vajilla. Once again, ballena, millas, camello, sellar, detalle, vajilla. Let's try it the second way. Ballena, millas, camello, sellar, detalle, vajilla. Once again, ballena, millas, camello, sellar, detalle, vajilla. And now the doble L. The E-lle. Ballena, millas, camello, sellar, detalle, vajilla. Again, ballena, millas, camello, sellar, detalle, vajilla. Those are the three ways. So the homework is a little bit different this time. You're going to be interviewing those friendly, hopefully critical, neighborhood native Spanish speaker friends of yours. Hopefully you can get about 10 of them. Ask them to say the following three words: callejero, llevaremos, armadillo. Or callejero, llevaremos, armadillo. Or callejero, llevaremos, armadillo. Then ask them what town they're from, what province they're from, and what country they're from. And make a list. And compare who says which way and where are they from. So this exercise isn't so much about your practicing as you're learning about your listeners, because it's so important to know more about our listeners, and that furthers our communication with them. So try to find those 10 friends of yours. And I've changed my mind. You need a list of words to try. So let's say these words all three ways. All right? And if you wish, videotape yourself. Yes, I'm dating myself. Record yourself on video or just audio. But probably video is better so that you can see the way your mouth is moving. All right, so first way with E-lle: fallecer, orilla, bolsillo, payo, brillo, folleto, paella, bullicio, fuelle, pasillo. Excuse me. My 28 years in the Ecuadorian Andes is coming out. Pasillo, calle, gallito, pastilla, gallo, llaga, camilla, rosquilla, sellar, cebolla. That's with the E-lle sound. Now let's try the Z sound. Fallecer, orilla, bolsillo, fallo, brillo, folleto, paella, bullicio, fuelle, pasillo, calle, gallito, pastilla, gallo, llaga, camilla, rosquilla, sellar, cebolla. Now the E-lle sound. Fallecer, orilla, bolsillo, palio, brillo, folleto, paella, bullicio, fuelle, pasillo, calle, gallito, pastilla, gallo, llaga, camilla, rosquilla, sellar, cebolla. I'd like to mention about the third way. I'd like to mention something about the third way. I have heard people use the E-lle sound on the last syllable of words, not so much first or second. So if you hear it, let me know, please. Or if you talk to somebody and you say liaga, and they say, no, that's not the way you say it, let me know. All right? So now I'm depending on your feedback. I need your feedback. Like I said, the feedback, I needed the good, the bad, the ugly, the minuscule, the fastidious, and the wonderful. Please give it to me. This is a beta test, and I need all the help I can get from you to make it a better course. All right? So that's your homework to work on. Work on it. In other words, do the accent of the people that you will be speaking to the most. If you decide that all you want to do is the ye sound, that's fine. Just be aware that there are other ways of saying it. All right? I don't know who you're going to be around. You do what you need to do to be understood by your listeners. It may be that you end up learning all 3 accents. That's not a problem. No sweat, no worries. Just learn them. 4 learning lessons left, and then we have a review of everything. So, next up is the letter T, not the letter T. So we're going to get rid of that T sound. See you next time. Hasta la próxima.